Alright, so welcome. I'm Sirius, and this is going to be an unscripted video. I'm going to make for like a week now. It's going to be a little bit of the lore and story behind Sirius, so this character here, the one that I'm wearing and talking to you all in. So you have a better idea of like just where he came from, what he did, and all that fun stuff. So, to start out, give you a little background on it. I came up with the idea because my partner has a character named Anpu, and he's, a black Egyptian, a Nubian jackal. And I was like, it'd be cool if I had a character that was, like related to him, like the son of Anpu. And Anpu's supposed to be Anubis, so like the Egyptian god of death. And I eventually made Sirius, and I didn't intend for him to actually be this. I don't remember exactly how it came about, but I was just like getting into World War One history, and I was like, huh, it would be really cool if like he wore uniforms and stuff, and then it just kind of snowballed into what it is now. So pretty much, where Sirius came from was he was born in 1692, and being the son of an Egyptian god of death makes him a demigod. So he's got not invincibility, none of that stuff, but he is immortal and ages very slowly compared to, say, a normal mortal soul. And so I was like, I'm going to make him being born in, 1692, and then have him keep going, go through the 17th century, 18th century, 19th century, and then technically he came of age around the turn of the 20th century, so 1900. And around the time 1914 hits, he's about 21, 22, something like that. And so I have a massive love for World War One, obviously. And so I decided to incorporate that into this character instead of my other character, Sparks. Sparks is completely different. And speaking of Sparks, Sparks is weirdly enough the mother of Sirius. It's just it started off as a joke, but it kind of like went from there. And I'm like, oh well, Sparks is actually the mother of Sirius now, which explains the purple and why they look the same. But so we thought about it, and with his character being the Egyptian god of death and being around for a long time, we thought, hey, the family would have, probably be considered more of nobility, up the higher class since they've been around so long and able to accrue wealth and all that. Because originally Sirius was supposed to be just a standard infantry soldier, stormtrooper in World War One, but recently I thought about it and it's like, oh, it makes more sense. He would actually be in the officer class and upper class. So I have all my uniforms, and they're all like infantry uniforms. But I just recently got this one because now Sirius as a character is an officer. Goes to officer school early 1915. Finishes officer school, gets inducted as a second lieutenant, lieutenant, where to be. And this is like what this is. Got all his medals and stuff from later in the war. Lieutenant shoulder boards. And so it continues. He, has some battles, gets more experience, and then Sirius finds out about the stormtrooper battalions, or stormtrooper regiments, so like troops that were training in 1916, 17. And he's like, I want a piece of that. So he goes and joins one of the pioneer regiments and one of the stormtrooper regiments. He goes in and does the training. He's a lieutenant, so he's commanding like 40 people, and he's in a stormtrooper battalion regiment and commands them. And so going on to 1918, you have the Spring Offensive, Operation Michael, in March of 1918. And he takes part in that. And as it goes, just off the top of my head right now, this might change. So him and his men go forward, score massive amounts of ground, and then their supply lines run thin, and then, just like what happened in Operation Michael, the French and British reinforce, and they just absolutely wreck Sirius and his platoon. Be a platoon? Yeah. They wreck his platoon. Most die, most get shot, most are casualties. Sirius gets severely injured during the attack. Gets bayoneted a few times, or gets cut really with a bayonet, a knife. Is bleeding out, laying there bleeding out. And then he gets found by just a random young French troop and is taken prisoner. So he goes to one of the POW camps for officers, is stuck there until after 1919, and then is released. I haven't decided what the exact date is yet, because that's still a work in progress. After the war, he stays in the Weimar Republic Army, the Reichswehr, stays around for a bit, is a lieutenant, goes up to I don't know if I'm going to be captain yet, but definitely first lieutenant. And then so as history goes, Germany has a bunch of turmoil and nationalist uprisings in the 1920s and 1930s. And Sirius, being Sirius, sees the nationalists and, the failed Austrian painter and his cronies, sees it and is like, I don't like where Germany is going. So what he ends up doing is around the time of 1930, Sirius decides, I don't like this, I'm getting out. And he really likes Poland. So he decides, after visiting Poland once, Warsaw, he decides, hey, I'm going to move to Poland. I'm going to go to Warsaw because I like the Polish people. And so he does. And he stays there for a while until, 1939 hits. And what happens in 1939, September of 1939? The Germans invade Poland. And Sirius, despising the current government that runs Germany, decides, I don't like this. These people are getting attacked and slaughtered for no reason. And so if you've ever heard of the Polish partisans, the Polish Underground Army, Krakoa, something like that. I'm not good with Polish yet. He joins the partisans, like the underground resistance, and he helps and fights alongside the Polish people being oppressed, attacks the evil Nazi windmill boys, and he helps them out, takes part in the Warsaw Uprising of 1944, fighting the Germans. He just keeps going, fighting, doing the right thing, fighting for morally good reasons. And the war ends, and he's just like, seeing the Soviets coming in, he, bails, because he doesn't like kind of the Soviets either. So he bails west. Finds, the Americans, with his family connections and wealth, he just decides, I think I'm going to go to America. I've heard America's a nice place. So he goes to America, and I want to say 1945 to 1950 is when he goes to America. And then after that, he just kind of stays in America until the present day. Yeah, it's a work in progress. I never even meant for him to be all like this. It just started with one idea, and then it just kept rolling and rolling and rolling. So, yeah, the host is Sirius. It's me. He's an officer, second lieutenant. Good stuff, good stuff. And that would be about it for now. I do plan on I actually have it writing, or I'm writing it right now. It's a little, kind of like journal style entries over the years, from about 1910 to present day with Sirius and what he does. But I just figured it'd be good to let you all know, this is him, what he's done, what he does, and all about the uniforms and stuff. Because I got the whole thing on right now. I did it just for this. And if you're wondering, speaking of uniform, yes, this is what officers wore. There's a little flexibility on World War I German officers. They could buy their own private purchase uniforms, or they could just get something a little more plain. But I got a kind of nice-ish one. But with Sirius actually still being frontline, I wanted to incorporate some of the more frontline stuff. If you're wondering about the tassel, this is a Russian marksmanship tassel. It's you get it if you just, you're really good at shooting. Good shot, that kind of stuff, using a rifle, pistol. We've got my ribbon bar, which has the Iron Cross First Class and a few others. And then we have the actual, there it is, the Iron Cross First Class, which is, usually awarded for bravery in combat. He's got that. And all these are given pretty much post-1918, except for the Iron Cross. he's probably got, since he's an officer, I'm probably going to give him a few more medals that would make sense, like over the 3 years he actually was in World War One. And when he's got I think this is it, yeah, the Black Wound Badge. This is what he gets after Operation Michael. Gets, severely wounded, nearly bleeds out from knife wounds, getting cut really bad. And then you've got the little Stormtroop button. It just signifies that he was in one of the Stormtrooper units in war. And I will put some art on screen, like right now. Put it up there, maybe? Yeah, we'll put it up there. So I do have one piece of art of him so far. I need more, but you'll see, like, on it. It's what he looks like, just completely. I don't have him, like, any art with him in uniform yet. And yes, he does have 2 scars on his side. Ironically enough, or funnily enough, I've actually got the same exact scars. I just really wanted to incorporate it into the character somehow. And it's similar, like, to what actually happened to me. Just a little bit different. But I thought it would be neat to incorporate my massive scars onto one of my characters. And yeah, he nearly dies, gets wounded really bad, taken POW. And I really like it. Like, I just wanted to have like fun making a character, just making something that was me or showed the what am I looking for? The word I'm looking for is like my interest, my passions, and just to incorporate them into a character with a backstory and all that. So that's how it went. But I will most likely just be wearing Sirius on all these videos. I may introduce Sparks, like maybe in 1 or 2 videos, just to do some fun stuff. But for the most part, you'll be seeing Sirius dressed up in uniform. It'll be fun. But I guess that'll do it for this video. It's not supposed to be long, just an introduction to the character. And then once I get done with the actual, what is it called? My little journal entry stuff on his lore and backstory, I'll post it somewhere. Y'all can read it. It'd be kind of cool. But I guess that'll do it for this video. Just me rambling on about my character so you know who he is. But until next time, have fun, y'all. I gotta go back to the trenches again, unfortunately. Bye.